She chose him, and I stepped back. Not because my love for her had faded, but because her heart no longer reached for mine. When someone's affection drifts to another, you don't cling, you let go. It wasn't a loud, messy breakup. There were no shouts or desperate pleas. We sat in the familiar corner of our favorite cafe, the same worn table, the same mugs between us, but we were no longer the same. I need space, she said, her voice soft but her eyes betrayed her. It wasn't space she craved, it was distance, distance from me, from us, from everything we had woven together. I could have probed, demanded answers, but why ask when my gut already knew? I nodded, said little, because sometimes silence speaks louder than love ever could. I left without fanfare. The only sound, the quiet tap of my shoes against the floor of a place that no longer felt like ours. The days that followed were heavy, suffocating in their silence. A quiet so thick it was like trying to breathe underwater. I stopped checking my phone, avoided our old haunts, and tried to mute the echo of her laughter in my mind. When friends asked if I was okay, I shrugged, mumbling that I was just worn out. They believed it. I almost did too. But I was mourning someone still breathing, grieving a love that hadn't ended. It had simply moved on to someone else. Later, I found out it was him. The guy from her gym. The one she'd called just a friend. The one who made her laugh. Funny how hearts can shift when someone new pays attention. I didn't resent her, didn't even blame him. I just hated how effortlessly she moved forward, while I was still gathering the shards of a future we'd once thought was certain. So I pushed on slowly. I started writing my thoughts, got a new haircut, switched up my habits. I stopped playing the song she'd picked for me, told myself I wouldn't be the guy who lingered, and tried not to be, at least not openly. Then one rainy Sunday, I stepped out of a bookstore, coffee in hand, keys clutched in the other, and there she was, by my car, drenched, no umbrella. Her face carried a weight I hadn't seen in months. I froze. She didn't move, didn't speak, until I unlocked the door. I was wrong, she said, and those 3 words cracked the armor I'd carefully built. She looked exhausted, fragile, like sleep had been dodging her for weeks. I stayed silent, just watched, not knowing if I should feel relief, anger, or something else entirely. I thought I knew what I wanted, she continued, voice barely audible over the rain. But it wasn't him. It was never him. The words hung between us as the rain drummed around us, filling in the silence. I thought leaving you would feel like freedom, she went on. But it just showed me what it's like to be utterly alone. I wanted to yell, to demand why she was here now, after she had chosen someone else. But instead, I opened the car door and we sat there. Saturday night, the silence thick, no radio, no heater. Just 2 people trying to figure out how to exist together again without falling apart. She cried. I didn't. Maybe I had already spent all my tears. She poured out her heart, told me how it wasn't what she had imagined, how she missed the way I truly saw her, how her laughter had faded, how the quiet with him felt hollow, unlike the warmth we once shared. She asked if we could try again. I didn't answer. Because when someone walks away for someone else, and then returns with regrets, you don't just dive back in. You pause, reflect, and ask yourself, do I miss her, or do I miss who I was with her? And maybe, just maybe, you realize the person she left behind isn't the same anymore. We talked a bit longer. She asked if she could reach out later. Maybe, I said. Because healing isn't a gate you swing wide for just anyone, even if they once held the key. So I let her go again, not out of spite, but from a place of quiet strength. Because now, I understand that when love returns after someone has chosen another, it's not just about whether they've changed, it's about whether you have. And this time, I knew the answer was clear.